What's good, people? I shared some of my opinions on the decant fraud. We'll just call them reviewers for the sake of the video and for the people that get their feelings hurt. There's been kind of a little bit of backlash, mainly from their audience of dullards who are, pretty much the slack-jawed yokels and rubes that often fall for the snake oil salesmen that roll into town selling them the magical elixir, which in this case is cheap fragrances, and a lot of their feelings are getting hurt. So I went ahead and I wrote a formal apology to the audience of the decant reviewers. I'm fighting off a little bit of a cold, but I feel that they're owed an apology so much that I went ahead and wrote them one out, and I'm going to read this publicly. The apology isn't from me. I wrote this for the decant frauds to read to their own audience, so I won't copyright you guys. Feel free to write this down and then go on your own channels and read this to your audience. Okay, here we go. To my audience of slow-witted and slow-brained sycophants, I, as a decant reviewer, would like to publicly apologize for defrauding you with my bait-and-switch / clickbait thumbnails. I would like to apologize for living out my fantasy on the internet at your expense, at the expense of your own incomes, as you stupidly purchase decants and fragrances on my uneducated opinions about fragrances that I neither own nor have researched. I can't even read my own writing. There we go. I would also like to formally admit that I am not a real reviewer, as I am both not as popular as real reviewers, to where I could get free bottles from companies to show you and review, nor do I have the income to go out and purchase them, as it is the responsibility of a reviewer to do so. I would like to publicly admit that I am poor. I am pretending to be well off and doing well in order to complete the facade of being a real reviewer. I oftentimes call myself a boss or CEO, even though I work at a chicken shack. Nope. That's a separate video for somebody else. To ignore that part. Again, I am poor, and I would once again like to publicly apologize for the fake it till you make it, low budget, low quality, modern day public cable access television content that I have been forcing down your throat in order to supplement my very low income with the chicken feed that is known as Google AdSense that I am given every month as if it were a welfare check, because I am doing so poorly in life. I struggled to admit this to you, my audience, which is why I pretended and will never admit that I do not have the income to purchase full bottles, which is why I purchase fragrances and products on the decant level, because we can't, as in me and the other defrauding decant reviewers, actually afford to run and fund a fragrance review channel. Signed, your favorite influencer. I'm not much of a writer, but I think that went pretty well. Way too long for me to put in the description so that a lot of the decant reviewers could copy and paste it. But feel free to, because you guys already steal content by stealing, pictures of fragrances that you don't own for your thumbnails. But feel free to steal this and read this to your audience. Everything will go a lot better. You'll be praised for being honest for once to your audience. And again, I apologize for the frauds on behalf of them to you, the audience, which is probably not here because I would like to think my audience is smart enough not to follow the trash of the decant reviewers.